Thank you very much, Assistant Secretary Ocha. I'm grateful for the remarks that have been made by the Assistant High Commissioner for Refugees as well as the Deputy Special Representative for Afghanistan. I believe that it is clear that Afghanistan is in a triple crisis as Ambassador Raz has mentioned, the crisis of peace and security, a crisis of the COVID pandemic, and a crisis that is born from the economic situation that Afghanistan faces. It is clear that a peace and stability in Afghanistan is indispensable, but peace and security in Afghanistan can only come from a political solution which includes all the parties and all the Afghan factions and Afghan trends in Afghanistan. My Prime Minister has consistently maintained that the conflict can be ended not by military force, but through a political settlement involving the full spectrum of Afghanistan's political landscape. This reflects the current international consensus, and even though the peace negotiations which Pakistan has facilitated as a shared responsibility for peace in Afghanistan, even though this peace process has made substantial progress in achieving certain milestones, there are difficulties, but it would be sad if, because of these difficulties, we were to turn back from the peace process and revert to a military strategy which will spell disaster for Pakistan. We share the determination of the international community not to allow Afghanistan's territory to be used by Al-Qaeda, ISIL, and other international terrorist groups and their affiliates to threaten or attack any country. Pakistan also shares the international concern about the continuing high level of violence and escalating civilian casualties in Afghanistan and the threat to humanitarian workers. But we call on all parties to the Afghan conflict to take urgent steps to reduce the level of violence, which would lead to a cessation of hostilities. The ongoing intra-Afghan negotiations have rekindled hope for peace through a comprehensive political settlement. It is now for the Afghan parties to seize this historic opportunity. It is the Afghans who must be the masters of their destiny and decide their own future without outside influence interference. Excellencies, prolonged conflict, foreign intervention, and terrorism have had a devastating impact on the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan. We need to foster peace, we need to end foreign intervention, and we need to end terrorism. For its part, Pakistan has committed $1 billion to the development of Afghanistan. Nearly $500 million have already been spent on infrastructure and capacity building projects. We are engaged in further assistance and consideration in accordance with the response plan. Despite the COVID-19 closure of borders by so many countries, Pakistan revised its visa policy for Afghan nationals with the aim of facilitating our Afghan brothers and sisters to visit Pakistan, especially for medical facilities. And we opened the border at 5 crossing points, donated medical equipment to Afghanistan. Pakistan has hosted millions of Afghan refugees over the last 4 decades. We remain committed to their safe and dignified return to their homeland. Peace and reconciliation offer the opportunity for their return to their homes. We call on the international community's strengthen and sustained contribution to the Afghan refugees, as has been called for by the Deputy High Commissioner for Refugees, and we ask that their return should be facilitated through measures for reintegrating them into Afghanistan. We stand ready to assist the Afghan government to promote a time-bound, well-resourced roadmap for the return of the Afghan refugees. Excellencies, finally, I would like to say that infrastructure development and regional connectivity through Afghanistan can be the key to its economic growth and stability. Together, Pakistan and Afghanistan naturally link Central Asia to the Eurasian heartland and to the Arabian Sea. This offers immense opportunities for regional connectivity through mutual cooperation. Pakistan will continue to work closely with our partners for the completion of the regional connectivity projects, including CASA 1000, the TAPI gas pipeline, and to facilitate trade to and from Afghanistan. Afghanistan's participation in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor would also improve infrastructure system, stimulate socio-economic growth, help eradicate poverty, and boost regional trade. And investment can be an important instrument in promoting peace and development in Afghanistan. Excellencies, at the end, allow me to reiterate that Pakistan will always support a peaceful, stable, united, democratic, and prosperous and sovereign Afghanistan at peace with itself and with its neighbors. Pakistan and Afghanistan are joined by history, geography, culture, faith, and our future destinies lie together. And we hope we will march towards a better future in the near term and bring peace and stability and progress to both our peoples. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Excellency, and also for Pakistan's support to infrastructure programs in Afghanistan as last 40 years.